Hello there guys, and welcome back to our car modeling tutorial. And in this episode, what I think we'll do is we'll maybe have a look at working along just this underside here to make it look a bit more like the car as it curves underneath. Definitely finish this portion of the bonnet here, and I'm going to kind of hope that we can get up and along the roof. Now, I've added a little bit in just here for the floor, don't worry, we'll go over this in a future episode, I'll redo it. I just wanted to add it in just so I can see the differentiation between the body here and the actual background, but I will go over how to do that in an additional episode now, well, in a later episode should I say. So it looks like down here what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to grab all of these edges. So I'll jump right in down here. So we'll grab all of these, we're going to hit Control E. On the world option, we're going to pull these in just a little bit, maybe something like that. And I think what we'll also do is just pull it down ever so slightly as well, like so. Now, what I think we'll want to do with this one is this is going to want to snap down here. So we've got this bumper here running continuously underneath. So we're just going to grab those two and merge them together. I think what I'll do at this stage as well is I'm going to grab, let's have a think here. I'm going to grab all of these points within the wheel arch here as well, like so. And we'll extrude these into just something like that, just so that we've got a little lip on the archway there. Okay, so that's looking okay underneath. Now with the section up here, now it appears that this part of the bonnet kind of arches underneath. It comes to another crease which runs down here, and then that flows down to the bonnet line and this crease here. But what it appears to me is it appears that this crease above the headlight actually joins onto this one over here. So this line here joins onto the line that eventually runs up and around there. So I think what we'll do is we're going to grab these bits here, and before we start extruding anything, we're just going to get them a bit more into position. What I'm going to do with these is hit Control E on this edge, and we're going to bring this all the way up here. And we're going to want to make sure we're following the top of the headlight there, something like this. And what we're going to want to do with this is we're actually going to want to grab these points here and here and merge them to it. So it appears to me that this crease goes along with this crease up here. Yeah, you can see that sitting quite nicely there. And for now we don't need much geometry on that point because we want to keep as little as possible as we're going up here. Now what we're going to want to do is we appear to have one too many sections. If we were going to run this point to here, this point to here, this point to here, we're also going to need to make sure we run this point too. So I think what we'll do right now is we'll grab these vertices. I'm just going to pull them a bit further down this side of the hood, and then just adjust this to make sure we're within our crease. And what we'll do is we'll use our mesh tools here to insert another edge loop. We'll drop it somewhere like that. And again, we want to maintain that crease here. Keep these selected. Make sure we've got our curvature up here. So, I think what we're going to want to do is we'll grab each of these edges here. I'm going to hit Control E. We're going to pull these out over here. Now, this is the extra curve I was talking about. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to pull these points here out to this extra curve, like so. and this is the point where the actual hood or the bonnet itself. So this is the point here where it actually curves, stops the curve, ready to drop down to the bonnet line there. So we'll pull all these points down to match on our front view here. What we'll maybe do with this point is we'll bring this a bit further in, so we can bring these two together. Okay, let's check our side view. Okay, so we see our side view here is looking okay. Let's just make sure a little bit higher there, a little bit lower here. So that's looking pretty good. And now this edge, grab that one more time, just pull this out. What we'll do with this is we can straight away merge these points. We'll bring this one down here and we'll merge those together. We'll want to do the same here. Now we're going to create a triangle briefly. I'm going to want to merge that just there. So we'll create a triangle just briefly there, but we can add another line of geometry inside here, or inside here. Maybe drop one just there. And then we can hold V again, and we can snap these down to these points here. So we can see that we've got that nice little drop inside there. Okay. Just want to make sure got a nice curve to that. Now I think probably we're going to want to actually be a little bit higher in here, something like that. Oh, that looks okay. What we could also do in this side view here is we could actually extend these points up here, so we'll get a little bit more curve up in this direction here, because we're going to actually want these elements to not necessarily curve around, because everything on here we're going to want to go straight down this section, so we'll maybe keep these a little bit straighter there. In doing so, we're going to need to make sure we're still matching over here, which we are. Maybe pull this one in a little bit. That will allow us now to grab this point and snap that up here. It will also mean we can really bring this one up here as well. Okay. Maybe grab this point here and snap that up there. Again, we can bring that down to match the curvature a little bit better there. It's looking good. Front view here, looking okay. Let's check our top view. So our top view seems to look okay, but at the front it looks a little bit jaggy. So we'll maybe pull that one out just a little bit there. Pull those ones in. We can see that that shape across that wing there is looking pretty decent. Okay, so we've got the general shape inside here. What we're going to want to do is insert an edge loop. I'm going to drop this down the center here. And as part of that edge loop, we're going to want to grab this and we're going to want to merge it up here. Okay. Now, with this point, we've got to remember that this is part of the where the hood or the bonnet actually meets the bonnet itself. But what we have is we have all of this section notched down. So we've got curve inside here. We don't want it to start here, we'll probably want it to be fairly soft here. But then, as we go up there, that's looking okay. So we see now we've got a nice little dip inside there. When we come to smoothing, we can make sure that this edge that runs down here is nice and smooth. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. And it's good as well because we haven't got a crazy amount of geometry here. We've got a decent, manageable amount. What we'll do at this point is we'll grab all the edges for the hood here. And we'll bring all these up. Now, what we'll do is this line here will have snap all the way up. We'll have this line up here. We're going to want to maintain some of that curve, but I'm not going to follow that around because on the reference images it doesn't appear to go all the way like that. So we'll drop that down like so. This is the edge of the actual bonnet itself, and then we'll use this to help curve that section up, like so. And then in our side view here, I'm going to want to really just bring all of these up together. Okay, like so. This one here, maybe want to come down a little bit, or maybe have it start to come down the whole time. Maybe have this slowly joining each other. And then this part can come up, something like that. Okay, so looking pretty good there. So, let's have a think now. So it looks pretty good on our front view here, but we could maybe pull this up ever so slightly. So we can see that that's actually where the curved section stops from this view. So maybe pull that back. By this point here it looks like that's almost up, and then we can get this bit all the way up there. Okay, so I think we've got a good angle there. What we could do with this now is we'll grab all of these points, we'll hit Ctrl E, and we'll take these up to meet it. We'll get these in position so we can see we're starting to run along the top of that badge or vent, depending on which version we're doing here. Maybe pull this up and this up, just to help keep that nice and sharp, or nice and curved should I say. And bring this up around here. Okay, so I'm going to snap this to what we already have. We can adjust this slightly along here. And we'll maybe pull this point over as well. Okay, so we can see that we've got this line here, so we're going to pull this inside. And we'll pull this inside as well. Maybe do the same slightly here. So we're starting to get that shape of the section which is going to run all the way up and along, but again we want to make sure that this has got a little bit of curvature to it, so maybe we'll have something a bit more like that. And it's always important to try and have these lines kind of flow to that shape. So here I'm going to pull these up so that we're getting a nice soft line going around there, and we'll do the same for these ones here. We'll pull these up just a little bit. Again, because the softer our lines are, it's better the curving these lines here, the smoother it will be when it comes to that stage. So that looks pretty good. Cool. Now what we'll want to do is we'll probably grab all the edges associated with this here again. Just hit Ctrl E, and these are going to come here, and these are going to start the door fold, well, the door crease for us. So we'll bring these all the way over again. Because we seem to be going up a little bit here, we want to make sure we're maintaining a crease, so we could drop this one down. I'm going to drop down on one side of this line, like so. Okay. Let's just get my reference image of a view down the side of the car here. Okay, so it looks like this here is part of the trim. So we have an edge that runs down here, and that's actually some black trim, I believe. So what we'll do is we'll pull this one up for now. We'll have it stop just here. Okay. I don't want that to come down there. I'm going to want to pull all of these in. So we can see that that's affected over here. So again, we'll just try and pull that over a little bit again. Okay, so it appears that we want to have that looking something like that. Now what we'll do is we'll grab the edge here. Let's just make sure our vertices here is seeing how it should. At this point here, we're going to hit Control E and we're going to bring this up here. So this is going to go into the loop. So let's just follow this line, runs up and along here, and then down the back, so that's fine. So what we actually have here is we have kind of a doubled up section, it seems. Let's bring those two just like so. So we can snap that to this. Now it looks like we do have an additional portion here, so I'm just going to hit Control E and bring this out. With this, again, we're going to run with a triangle here just for now. We can add all this information back in. We can make this into an actual polygon when we do our details. I'll bring this up and around here. And then we could just simply extrude off this point. And oops. What we'll do is I'm going to use the polygon tool here. We'll do it on this object. We're just going to drop one in for now, just where these sections here meet. And we'll drop that on just like that. And then we can merge these two together, just so that we've got that additional section inside there. What we'll do with this is I'm just going to remove that additional point. And when it comes to cleaning up that section, we'll be able to make a few little changes to it. Okay, so our front view here looks like we need to do a little bit more work. So we'll grab that point and this one. Looks like we're going to maybe want to bring these points in. It looks like we're actually curving into the door there where we want to be maintaining. So we'll bring these points in slightly. Okay. So that's looking pretty good. So what we can do now is we can move up the window. Now I'm just going to drop a piece of geometry in here. Grab this edge. I'm going to hit Control E. I'm going to pull this up here. We'll maybe just start small. We'll start down here. I'm just going to grab this face. We're going to go to Edit Mesh and we're going to extract. And we'll go back in here and we'll delete that extra vertices. Now, for this section here, it looks like all it's actually really doing is it's sitting along with this point. Maybe actually what we want to do is we'll actually want it that point here. So just delete that, and what I'll actually want to do is grab this bit. Bring that up just a little bit. Okay. So on the actual car, if I can get a better shot of my references here, it looks like it actually looks like the window, or the start of the frame, the airframe should I say, is separate to the body. Yeah. So we'll just do what we did again and grab this, and we're going to edit mesh and we'll extract. And what we're going to want to do as well is we want to insert an edge loop, and we're going to drop it where the actual crease is. So that's going to allow us to get those two levels inside there. So it looks to me like with this point we're going to actually want to go like so. This point here, maybe bring out over here, or maybe stay just inside that edge there. So we see we've got a good dimension to that. Let's check our top view. Yeah, so we can see we've got good dimension to that, but we'll probably want this piece actually to be more over here. So what we'll do with this is grab these two edges, hit Control E, and we're just going to bring this all the way to the top here. And then we can make sure we're hitting the right angle here. And we'll make this one sit at the top of the windscreen. We'll make this one meet around here. And then we'll have this one in position for that extra step inside. And then from this angle here, we'll make sure that everything is moving as it should. Something like that, and we'll go just outside that because we can add geometry in, which we're going to do just now. So we'll insert an edge loop. We'll maybe go about halfway up here, and we can make sure that this here is maintaining the correct shape as we go. And then we'll maybe drop one in at the top here. Going to help us make that curve as well. Okay. So see, now we've got that little bit of a curve. Now we'll grab this here, we'll hit Control E, and we're going to bring this up here. And before we move on, we probably want to adjust these here. Bring all these up to maintain that shape, and I'll maybe stop at the top of the door here, like that. Now, what we want to do is we want to consider the amount of geometry that we're going to have in this door, because when we create this door, we're going to want to make a window pane inside, which is going to match what we have. So for example, this one is going to be horizontal. Maybe that this one here is going to be our first vertical. So we're going to have one around here. 1, 2, 3, and then, so we'll maybe have 3 and then the actual edge of the door itself. 2 of which are going to be close over here for the door handle. So we'll drop 2 over here and then 1 in the middle here. So it's always important as we go to plan that future geometry. So we'll bring all these up here. All these up as well. And then we'll bring these to match. There. Okay. That's not looking too bad. And then you can bring all these points across here. We've got a good shape to all of that there. We can see that we're starting to get that roof shape up and around there, which is good. Okay, so I think the final thing we'll do for this episode is we'll bring all of this now across. So we'll grab all of the edges here. I'm just going to hit Control E and just going to move across here. I'll grab this point here just to make sure we're following that window around. So if we grab all these points, what we'll actually do is we'll pull all these straight across. And we'll hold X to snap them all to the center. Pull this forward. Grab them all, and we'll pull them up. Then we can just add a little bit more curve across there, just to make sure. I think here we're going to want to pull that. Okay, so see we've got the edge of the roof there forming quite nice. Check our front view. What we want to do here is we're going to insert an edge loop. And we want to match what we have down here. So we have 1 line, 2 line, 3 line, 4. So we have 4 going across. So we'll drop our first one here. We'll try to go roughly in line with there. We're just going to pull the whole line up to match that curve. We'll again go for the same up here, just going to match that curve, and then finally we're going to drop one in along here, which is going to match our section there. So let's just drop that here, which is following quite nicely. And then the only real thing we're going to want to do with this is we're just going to push that back, maybe push it in a little. Those forward. So we can see there that we've got the roof shape looking good up there. So what we're going to do is we'll grab all of these and we'll just reselect these here and hit Control D, Control G again, and just chuck those across there. And we can see now that we're really starting to get the shape of the car coming through, which is looking pretty good. I think in the next episode then what we'll do is we'll have a think about running down the side of the car here. So we're going to run down the side and get the door laid out, have a think about the door handle, how we'll do that. Basically we'll be taking the whole lot of this car down the door here, something like this. We'll have a think about this. This is going to be one of the key parts to the development of this car. We'll maybe get the floor in, so we'll talk through the floor. I'll probably come in with some placeholder wheels as well, so we can see how it's going to sit on top of those. But until the next one, guys, hope you enjoyed the episode.